I'm Tia Borden with MiningIR, and beside me is Ross, President and CEO of Fission Uranium. Ross, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure. Nice to be with you.
And can you tell us a little bit about the company and where you're located?
Sure. Well, we're a uranium company. We are a development company. We have a project in northern Saskatchewan in the Canada's Athabasca Basin, which is famous for hosting the world's best, highest grade uranium deposits, and we have one of those. We made our discovery about 10 years ago, and so we're in the process of doing advanced engineering studies and economic studies, so a feasibility study, and eventually we plan on taking this project through to production.
This is your flagship project. Can you tell us a little bit more about it and maybe what Saskatchewan is like as a mining jurisdiction?
Well, let me start off with the last part of your question. Saskatchewan is probably one of the best mining jurisdictions in the world. In fact, if you look at a number of surveys of different groups, for years and years and years, Saskatchewan's consistently ranked in the top 1, 2, or 3 mining investment jurisdictions in the world. So you have a government that supports development. Geologically, you're endowed with the best, natural resources anyways. As I mentioned, the government wants to build it, and the people that live there in the area, and including the northern communities, support mine development. So you really couldn't pick a better place to be. So that, that's a little bit of a plug for the province, but it's definitely a number one jurisdiction to be in.
And obviously, it's super important to have a strong team behind you. Can you touch a little bit on your team?
Absolutely. The company, we've kind of gone from being an explorer and one of the best exploration groups in the world, one of the most successful. We've had a number of discoveries but this one is the most significant by far. It's called the R deposit, and we found that about 10 years ago. So we've really evolved as a company, I guess, retooled to become a developer. So our skill set is now, we brought in-house engineering horsepower in there. So our Vice President of Project Development, Gary Haywood, is leading our feasibility study right now, but we've also brought in expertise on the permitting side and in community relations. So this is, I guess, a little bit different than an exploration. It's sort of the next level of group we have, but I think we've assembled a team of, top in the business at what they do, because this is it's an incredible project, and we've got to take all the right steps to get it to the finish line.
Ross, do you intend to return to the capital markets in the near term?
Our treasury's quite well right now. We've got about $38 million in the treasury, which is certainly sufficient to get us through the stage of work that we're in right now, which is completing our feasibility study, moving forward on the permitting side. So, I think we're in a comfortable position, and no immediate needs to go back to the market.
What are some of the catalysts that investors should be aware of in the next few months?
Well, from the company perspective, we'll be completing our feasibility study. I think that's key. We're aiming to have that done and filed by the end of this calendar year. We're also advancing on a lot of community First Nation agreements, and so I would look for further news flow from us on positive relationships with the communities that do support projects like this, and our project in particular. Those are key elements. We'll have a resource update, I think, shortly, probably in the next quarter. So yeah, there's a lot of news, and I think just uranium in general, has been a very positive story, and will continue to be so.
Ross, most importantly, what sets Fission apart from other junior mining companies?
Well, having a fantastic deposit like this, they're very few and far between, and we've got one of the best in the world. I think what really sets the R apart from just about every other deposit is it has the potential to be one of the lowest operating cost mines in the world, uranium mines. But being in a jurisdiction that supports mining, having an extremely potentially low cost operator, and I think the whole sector in general is really, on a long-term bull run, upsurge, as the world comes to, understand that nuclear is such an important part of the clean energy revolution that's going on. So, I think we're going to be a key part of that equation going forward.
Can you share your PDAC messaging with our viewers and what you want our investors to know?
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground. I think those would be the key messages that I would want to say, is that people should be looking at the uranium, the nuclear sector. They should be focusing on companies with tier 1 assets in tier 1 jurisdictions, and with a management that knows how to move the projects forward. I mean, those for me are really the key aspects in there. And PDAC is wonderful. It's great to be back in person. It's been a couple of years since we've been able to.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the buzz again. PDAC in the summer is a new experience for me, but but it's great to be back.
Ross, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much.